Let people live a life. Let that guy that's been there for 7 to 8 years hitting quota enjoy life. He's done it. Let him do it.
Recognize them, lift them up, give them some reprieve.
Today, we're going to be diving into a topic, a superpower or direct weakness.
You know, we all have vices. People have vices. We all do. You just can't let the vices control you. Those moments of anxiety, and if you don't address it and you just mask it and you hide behind it, ultimately it's going to have greater repercussion.
Leadership today needs to be honest with themselves. The corporate America pressure, people are tired of it. There's no, especially in the sales environment, I just think that they're putting just pressure. Oh, that's not enough. You hit quota? Let me do more. Let people live a life. Don't go hit the bottle to make it worse on Monday. Go get some fresh air, get out in the mountains, and honor yourself, guys. And
the most beautiful thing is find the people that you can talk to just tell them how you're feeling. And it's okay.
Welcome back, everybody, to Never in Reverse podcast. Always moving forward. I'm your host, Jeremy Axel, co-host, the man, Doug Cox. What's up, Doug?
I'm looking forward to spring days, getting longer, and you're not going to work in the dark, not coming home in the dark. I hate that.
Well, I thought man, just based off your productivity, I thought vacation was next week.
Hey. No. ABC.
I'll always be closing, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to give Doug, the topic today is all around Doug, just so you guys know. Right, Doug?
Yeah, there's been some moments. Yep, not gonna lie.
And so, guys, we're gonna jump into today's episode. It's turning anxiety into your greatest asset. And I always kind of hide my anxiety. I think I just kind of make it part of my luggage in the back seat, right? Like, this is just normal. That's what I tell myself.
Just bury it.
It's probably became normal. At times, I try to. Sometimes I pay attention to it a little bit more, but I think you and I do a good job of just pushing through it, which is probably a bad thing at times. But I think there is, if understood correctly, there's a layer to acknowledgement that can give you some kind of a superpower, I guess. So Doug, just why do leaders treat anxiety as something to hide or eliminate? I can tell you that's we all do it, and you and I are prime examples, right? Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not anxious. And then it's a hidden topic in this world, right?
And then there's other results that come with it. I mean, just some moments of depression, defeat, am I doing enough? And am I good enough? It's just, you and I, we've known each other for a number of years, and we've shared, a lot of personal things and even challenges in business. And, we're critical of each other and of ourselves. And, we talk pretty openly, and you could sense it in my voice, I think, the other day, that what's up, man, something's up. And I think the most important part, but going back to leaders, and we'll get into myself and kind of what I was going through, but, to your point on the leaders and how they treat anxiety, I think in a lot of ways you're taught to just deal with it, get through it, just bury it in the closet. You'll be all right. Just head down.
Stuff in a bag and shut up.
Yeah, and just don't make it everybody else's problem. It's yours.
Even at home, right? Like we've been told, you got to be the man of the house, and you got to, all these things that we're told. And I just, that we got to pretend that everything's okay. And I'm going to be honest, I've done that a lot in my life. Hiding behind where I'm really at and
masking it.
Yeah, masking it. Like in multiple ways, I'll work harder, or I'll just hide behind success, or I'll go do something that maybe hitting a whiskey bottle or whatever I need to do to get through that moment, knowing that that's the underlying root cause, because we've been told not to show that weakness, not to be vulnerable in front of others that you're leading. And I think it's the opposite, man. Like, hey, man, I'm struggling today, guys. I'm having a really hard time. The other day, man, there's been a lot of pressure coming on me, and I'm like, man, to my wife, I'm like, I am just anxious. These people will not stop. And that's the reality of it, man. The beehive, right? I'm like, one bee stings fine, but when you get a hive, and that's what was going on. Is like I couldn't.
You're not running
one
from
of away.
You're running
one
from
would sting me, and then I'm like, I got that one under control, and then the next one comes in, and then that first one would come back, and I'm going, oh man, and I started doing yoga almost, man. I started doing some down dogs in my living. It's like,
got the incense burning, downward dogged.
Oh, dude, Doug Zen, throw 5 Zens in my lip and hit it.
Oh,
I don't know.
Gosh, sometimes it's like, yeah, just.
Yeah, and I think there's, I think more importantly for leaders and just anyone, actually, I think you got to pay attention to yourself and just, if you're not on a team, you can't have it take over your life, but you got to be able to take a break, man. The people around you got to acknowledge that you're aware.
You're human too.
and you're self-aware, and they need to let you step out. And I think we all need to give people the reality that that's okay, because I'd rather have someone say, hey, dude, I'm not feeling great. I need to take a breather for a second, go on a walk, versus saying, oh, I'm fine. And then he's just miserable, because that doesn't, no one wins. No one wins. It's a lie.
No, and then you wind up taking things out on other people in the wrong ways, and then it's perceived in the wrong fashion. I mean, it's the handling of, those stressful moments, those moments of anxiety, and if you don't address it and you just mask it and you hide behind it, ultimately it's going to have, in some cases, it can have greater repercussions. And I mean, it could,
dude. You tuck it
yeah.
in, I got it. And then you get a dopamine hit from a win, and then it's just linger. And then that small amount of anxiety stacks because the pressure's higher, and you're not asking for help, or you're not being truthful to yourself or anyone around you. So you're carrying the load, man. And you only have, your legs are only so strong, right? Your backpack full of rocks, of all those rocks you're tossing back there, is heavier and heavier and heavier. And you can, maybe it's an instant explosion. Maybe something else hits you and you blow up on a sales guy. I can do that to Doug, no problem.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, I think we need to be self-accountable to that. And I think leadership in this, I think in our country, our leadership needs to allow people to be honest. We're over here faking it, and a guy in the nice new car, and he's got his Audi. I'm like, dude, you're so broken. Dude, let's get real. Like, you're broken just like everyone else. You're hiding behind your car. And that's what I always feel like. These people are just want to get these nice new things, and they want you to pay attention to that, not them. Let me show you my new house so you don't look at me. Let me show you my new car so you don't look at me. And then, instead of being honest and real with someone, like, hey, dude, yeah, that's great, but I'm struggling, man. I'm getting my tail kicked in to get that new car, created this, and this is what's happening. Like, I
Right.
think,
But
because
there are those things, we want in life and rewarding. And I mean, and some of it merits it, but there's ways of, people mask it in different fashions. I don't care if it's, if it's substance abuse, if it's, dopamine hits and spending money and buying things to feel that high. I mean, we all have vices, right? People have vices. We all do. My wife and I just talked about this last weekend, and you just can't let the vices control you. And you can't let the emotion, the mental states of, challenging mental states, let those things control you, and you handle those things through your vices in the wrong fashion. And in some of those ways, I was coping the wrong way, rather than, the most beautiful thing is find the people that you can talk to just tell them how you're feeling and get it off your chest,
and being okay with it, and letting the
it's
leadership,
okay.
but let leadership lead with that ability to be like, dude, hey, dude, I have anxiety. You know how bad men don't want to talk about that? Like, they literally, they treat it as if they're the biggest, weakest person. I'm like, dude, that sucks. Like, if you really get honest and, like, drop all the job crap, because they're not gonna be like, well, that guy was a great sales guy. They're gonna be like, man, that guy was vulnerable. He didn't care what anyone else thought. He wasn't there to be Superman when inside he was hurting. And I think unmasked, untalked about in a leadership role can really hurt you. It can probably hurt your team. You're not going to communicate well. You're not going to show up at home well, which just means you're not going to show up to your team well. So I think to lead, you got to give your team permission to be in that same spot. I struggle with anxiety at times, but I haven't had a bad anxiety attack in a long time, but I just get these micro elements. I'm learning to say, and I'll take
How to
some deep breaths.
manage.
I'll
How to
just take some
manage.
deep breaths,
Yeah.
man. Probably 10 cups of coffee, and see if that helps.
No kidding. Brew another pot.
Oh,
Get
Doug, you want
through
another
this.
tall boy? I'm having a
Yeah.
little anxiety here. Let's amp that up a
More
little
coffee.
bit.
Yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, and it's, it's just, in leadership, I mean, it's okay to be vulnerable, and vulnerable with your team, because they're going to go through moments of stress. They're going to go through moments of anxiety. I mean, in any work environment, it's not a perfect world. Nothing's a perfect world. There's going to be moments of pressure, moments of stress. And I've always said this shit happens in threes, right? So if you get one that's coming, anticipate two more. And how do you manage that?
Yeah, with what you're, because Doug was going through just some struggles, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to increase, I'm going to actually implement quota. I'm like, he's got number 2 hasn't hit him yet.
Yeah, and that we're going to get a time clock here. We're going to punch in, punch out.
Yeah.
Know.
Oh, buddy. And no, but yeah, trying to get him in the
Union
seat for
breaks
8 hours
over
a
here,
day.
let me tell you that.
Yeah, 8 hours a day, and the seat for him is like struggling.
Eight's a day off. No, it's all good. But I mean, it's just,
I just think the leadership, man, the guys, like I'll tell you, like in sales environment, I was so sick and tired of the dude upstairs putting his thumb on me and grinding me so hard, like, didn't even really care, to be honest with you. Like, think about someone in a high volume, like you and I have been in some high stressful sales environments where it's like quota, 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 and then they're like, "You hit it? Oh, you hit it. I'm gonna make that harder.
Yeah, now we're gonna
I'm gonna
move the
increase your
goalpost.
anxiety and I'm gonna make it harder for you and your family to make it." And they literally don't care. And I understand goals and stuff like that. I'm ready to implement that for you. I've started to work on that so that we can just get that thumb heavier and heavier, but we'll figure that part out.
Yeah.
I wanted step 2 for you to come today so that you and I can go walk through that moment too and see
Well,
how that
that's why I
feels.
go to my psychologist during my lunch hour. So
No, but, I think there's just people gotta stop, man. Just let people be like, if you're on the top being human, let the people down below be human. They're not robots. Or you get in the seat and show them how to do it. I'll do that with a leader like that. If they want me to do something and they're willing to do it themselves, I'll do it all day long.
well, and as
You
a
know?
leader, I mean, you teach and you educate people how to get through the difficult moments, the tough moments, right?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, no
because you're gonna have them, you know, and how do you know, because for every peak there's a valley, and for every valley there's a peak. Now, how do you navigate through those? You know, and in good leadership, how do you help the individuals that you're leading in being real and being vulnerable of working through these stressful moments in life? I mean, we all go through them, at home or in the workplace. But again, I mean, and then celebrating the wins, lifting that person up, because you lift them up, you're going to help them wade through these difficult things, and they're going to want to get back to being recognized again and fulfilled. And it's just the ebbs and flows of the difficult.
Taking anxiety though and actually owning that and turning it into your superpower, if you acknowledge it, I think that if you look at your like let's just say you're anxious, you're having a hard day and you're vulnerable, and instead of like leaning into that and being like, woe is me, maybe just taking a step back, what's causing that, right? Like looking at
Hmm.
the truth and being honest with yourself, and then maybe restructuring your day or figuring out the positives and going to your superior or your wife or whoever you're struggling with or whatever that moment might be, and just saying, hey, listen, this is what's giving me anxiety. I don't enjoy it. Is there a way that we can restructure things or just giving myself the blessings to get into that power position where it's my superpower instead of being like, it's on my job to-do list and it gives me anxiety, but 80% of the time I'm doing great here, but this 20% is making me do the 80%, 20% well because I'm so anxious about the 20%, right? So like being honest, like I think you can turn into your superpower and just instead of just sitting in it like I do and going, I got it. I'm not going to show that weakness or man, if I show that to these guys that, hey, I'm struggling, what are they gonna think of me? What's their judgment gonna be? Or when we honestly, when people are vulnerable and like, "Hey, listen, dude, I'm struggling right now with a little bit of anxiety." Oh, crap. You know what they're gonna say? "How can I help support you? Is there some
Yeah,
stuff I
yeah.
can
What's
take off your
causing
list?
it? What
Can I
what
can
can
I
we
take
do?
some stuff off your plate to help you get back to square one?"
Hmm.
On for you, what I'm looking at, I told Jess last night, I said, "Hey, he's a little anxious. What I'm gonna do is this. Can I pile more on him?" And she
Oh
goes, "Yeah,
yeah,
let's figure the." Yeah. No, I was like, "Dude, we
yeah,
can't take any more off Doug. Let's just put more on there.
yeah.
Um,
We'll just drown him.
get let's get
Yeah,
the phone ringing a little more."
right. No, no. It's pressure is what you put in a tire. Yeah.
But no, I'm be honest, you can use it as your superpower if you're mature with it, right? And but the leadership's gotta I think leadership today needs to be honest with themselves and quit the corporate America pressure. I really think there's this change in our country where, like, people are tired of it, dude. They're little pawns and they're just moving you around, and there's no especially in the sales environment, I just think that they're putting just pressure, 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 pressure. "Oh, that's not enough. You hit quota? Let me do more." You know? Let
Right.
people live a life. Let them be a if you wanna go get more, hire another sales guy. Let that guy that's been there for 7 to 8 years hitting quota enjoy life. He's
Right.
done it.
Exactly.
Let
Give
him
them.
do it.
Recognize them, lift them up, give
Yeah.
them some reprieve. Energy. You got to find ways to create energy, create spark. And keep people engaged and excited, because otherwise it's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You rinse and you and you're just back in the seat and you're just going through the motions, and eventually you get tired of going through the motions. You
Yeah,
know.
and I think if you're in a spot where leadership doesn't allow that, just hit the road, dude. Just like, hey, listen, because you're not going to get anywhere. They're just going to they're going to basically bypass that state of mind where you're at, and maybe like to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, go take a day off, get some
Just
fresh air.
Yeah.
Don't go hit the bottle to make it worse on Monday. Go get some fresh air, get out in the mountains, and get some
do something
reprieve.
to recharge yourself and get your mind right. And yep.
Yeah. But for Doug, I'm like, Doug, 10 hours today minimum.
Yeah.
Enhanced quota per day.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I'm like,
it's
let me just stack it, right? But no, I think just honor yourself, guys, and be real with where you're at. And if leadership's not allowing it, that's when you got to reevaluate, because the long-term volatility for you in that moment is like, obviously you can't have that moment every single day, but they need to allow you some grace when you have those moments to be like, listen, and they got to call you out of that in a way that's positive, right? So, because it's not no one's gonna win. But as we wind this episode down, a couple questions that you can reflect on. What recurring worry keeps showing up in your leadership? Is anxiety pointing to a real gap or an imagined catastrophe? What decisions have you delayed because it makes you uncomfortable? That's a big one, right? Like that's not stepping into your anxiety with your manager or your boss or your wife or whatever you're doing and just being vulnerable.
working through
That'll
it.
stack. It'll stack.
Mhm.
It will stack. The relief is being honest, right? Like that's bringing
Yeah.
it to the reality and letting people know where you're at. What does your team experience when you're under pressure? I would say, that's a good one, right? Doug doesn't have enough, so we'll figure that part out. I'm trying to give them all mine. So delegate your pressure to everyone else. Don't do that. But just these are good questions. What would you change if you treated anxiety as intelligence instead of weakness? Now that's great, because that one could be your superpower, right? Like take that moment and use it to your advantage of you, and come back the next either a 2-hour break or whatever you need to get recentered. Maybe go focus on something you really enjoy. Maybe go to lunch with your wife or your kids or whatever you got to do to
Right.
recenter, give you that
Right.
baseline again, and come back, because that's where it's at. If you sit in it, you're not going to get anything done. So it's a negative effect if you sit in the moment without being honest, right? But you got to be
realizing it and how to manage it, and how to manage it for yourself. And I mean, if it's unplugging for a minute to recenter, refocus, organize, back in, fulfill. Yeah,
absolutely. So, anyways, just things to consider. Be honest with yourself. Hopefully, you're in a safe environment where we can be open and honest with other people, and allow them to walk you through that. It's normal. I feel it a lot, honestly. I probably don't talk about it enough
100%.
when I feel anxious, and it's a masculine on my end. It's something that I've been told as a young kid, like don't show that, don't cry. I think, but I'm trying to get more comfortable with like what that truly means, to show that, right, so that people can step up when I need it. And I think that's the superpower, is actually being vulnerable enough to show people, because I bet when you need to step out, the results will keep going, because they're going to step in with you and they're going to realize, hey man, that guy can be vulnerable with me. I can do the same. So it's going to be a team effort. I think it's going to you'll connect your team more. So thank you so much for joining this episode on Never Reverse. I'm your host, Jeremy Axel, co-host Doug Cox. Thank you for spending time with us, and follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X. Anything audio, Doug, you can listen to us on Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Spotify.
All the platforms. And give us some, let us know what's worked for you. Moments of stress, anxiety, how you cope with it. I'd love to hear feedback, love to put some tools in my chest, because I'm still trying to figure it all out too in some cases and moments in time. So yeah, let us know.
Never in reverse, always moving forward. Until next time, guys, we appreciate it.